Okay, so we're going to start working on the following and unfollowing actions. One thing that I realized, it's something that you have to always be in the lookout for, is to see if there's anything that you are using repeatedly and how to apply what's called a dry pattern, a do not repeat yourself pattern, where if there's a piece of code that you're using often, it's better that you make it a function or something that you can import and you can use it in many places. But you only have one function or piece of code that you need to maintain. So for example, this part here where we're getting the username of any type. In this case, it's being passed to the function, but there's other places where we're going to be fetching it from other like methods. So I want to make that a common function. So here's another example there. And I've decided that I'm going to add it on models because this is a model related like operation, models being connectivity to the database. So let's see how we do this new get user by username function. All right, so we're gonna open the models py for the user. Okay, so at the end of the models py, I'm gonna add this function. We're gonna call it get user by username, and we're gonna pass the database connection to it, as well as the username string that we're gonna look for. And for now, I'm just not gonna put a type on connection, and I'm just gonna return any, and we can figure that out in a bit when we're running and debugging the function. So then I do a statement just like we did before with a select where the user name on the user table is equal to the username we're being passed, and then execute that command and await the result and return it to the calling function. Okay, sorry about the change of colors here. I just lost my theme sync from VS Code. I think I was using some other package, but in any case, we need this any to be imported. So we're gonna say from typing import any, and so I think. Well, we'll try that out when we run this code and set the proper type for connection. I believe it's a SQL Alchemy connection, but I'm not too sure. Okay, so now we're gonna add this function to our user views and use that new function. So we're gonna import get user by username here. So the first thing we're gonna check is on the post. As you can see here, we have that selection user table. So we're gonna, instead of that, we're gonna say, and we're gonna call this user row now. User row equals await, because it's an async function, get user by username, and then we pass the connection and the username. Now we have the username from here, so that is going to work. And we need to change if user row here, as well as, I think that's the only one in there. And I think we have it also on the logging. So right here, so we're gonna do the same thing, user row, await, get user by username, connection username. I have a typo there. And so we're gonna say if not user row, then we say user not found, and we're gonna get the user row password here. Oh my god, the underscore is so hard. And I think that's it. I believe I have another one in here. So profile user. In this case, we're gonna do profile user equals await, and then get user by username, connection username, and then profile user is the same thing. I think I have here it is. There's another, for this session, we're gonna use user row instead of row. And I think That's it. We still have that error on that connection type here, but we'll check it out when we run the application. So let's make sure that everything works. Okay, so make sure that you're running the Docker container for the database in there. And let's put a breakpoint here because I want to check that what the connection here is. So we're gonna go to, let's try the login route, and we're gonna put a breakpoint in there so that we can check what this connection type is. So we're gonna go ahead and run the application. So I'm gonna log in, and we're in that stop point. So as you can see, this is a type of databases core database. Okay, so that way we can check what we need to put in here. So I'm gonna say and I'm gonna put a split view here so you can see. I think I have a previous pattern that I had before using databases. So I think what we have to do is return await result fetch one and then pass the query here. So I'm going to say query equals query and rename this to query. Still have an error. Query equals connection. All right, so let's try that again. Let's restart the login. Okay, so if we continue, we get a successful operation, user logged in, so that's working. Let's try fetching another user Luigi. Perfect, so that's working. So I think we're good in here. So one thing that would be good to do is to run the tests at this point. So that's why we have tests. And the way I'm going to do that is by using the testing tool here. And I'm going to run all the tests. And all are passing. So that means that we're testing the login, registration, if it's an existing user. So that looks good. And I just realized that we still have this n here. So I'm going to put another breakpoint in here. And we're gonna see what user row is actually returning. So let's run the application again. And we see that this is a record object. So we're gonna do the same thing here. Also, it's actually a different module. So we're gonna do from databases, backends, Postgres, import record. And so this is gonna return a record. Oh, we have an error here. Oh, wait. So let's follow the instruction here. It's saying it's optional. Databases interfaces record. So we're going to say interfaces record. And then we're going to say optional here. And then we're going to say optional record. Let's see if that fixes the typing. Okay, so that seems to work. Just reload and try one more time. So it's returning fine, so I think that works. And let's run the test just in case. So this is good. All right, so make sure that you check the code. This is for the models. I'll give you that link in below, and the views. And The other thing that I just realized is that we don't have the testing for the users complete. And we also have like some typing issues in here. We're gonna work on that on the next lesson. And then finally we can start doing the follow operation. So user testing for login is gonna be next.